What's going on, guys? Mr. Octagonal here from Octagonal Gaming. Now we have another NBA2K19 rebuild. Last time we did the Knicks, and this time we're not going to be doing a specific team, but instead we will be doing a fantasy draft rebuild, so I'm going to choose the team at random. I do not have the original pick thing off. It's still on, so everyone still has their original picks. So hopefully I'm Boston, and... No way! That's not even fair! So, I'm Boston. Okay, so we have like a gazillion draft picks. I almost don't want to be Boston just because it's too easy. You know what? We're going to do another spin. That's kind of ironic that I got the one I want. Hopefully I'm the Pistons because they're my favorite team. Okay, I thought I was going to be the Pistons. But I get the Phoenix Suns. I already rebuilt them. I kind of want to be a team I haven't rebuilt. No, this just isn't right. This is so weird. It's like I'm calling everything. So we'll just be the Pistons. We have the 5th pick. Let's go. That is clutch. Anthony Davis just went. That sucks. I never get Steph Curry, so I kind of want to get him. But I also sort of want youth, and Karl Anthony Towns kind of looks nice. I'm going to go with win now and pick Curry. I know Harden looks like the better option. Younger, better, less expensive, but Steph Curry does so well in the sim that I think it makes sense to go with him. Now with my 2nd round pick, I'd like to draft some youth. And we have all of the best rookies, so I'm deciding between DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic. Ayton is A+ potential, Doncic has A, so I'm going to go with Ayton. Hopefully Luka Doncic is available with my next pick. And of course the Bucks end up drafting. Luka Doncic is unfortunately off the board. There are many really good young power forwards like Jaren Jackson, Marvin Bagley, but I'm sort of leaning towards Michael Porter Jr. Do I want to go with Porter, or do I want to go with probably Jaren Jackson because he's 18? Yeah, we'll go with Jaren Jackson. In the 4th round, I'm going to be drafting Chris Dunn. I know we already have a point guard, but we could always move Steph Curry to shooting guard, or we could just use Chris Dunn as trade bait. We're going to draft another rookie here in round 5, and that is going to be Miles Bridges, the small forward of the Charlotte Hornets. So as you can see, we're trying to draft youth. We are trying to tank, but at the same time, we do have Steph Curry. Steph Curry isn't untouchable for this first season, but I don't see a reason why I'd trade him. You know it's rigged when the NBA gives the Lakers the first pick so they can get LeBron. Really, 2K? So after round 5, I just pretty much continued drafting young players. Here is a look at the roster. I think we have a really solid future. Probably going to trade some of these players away for more draft picks. The Pistons, they have a good amount of picks. Like, we still have all of our first rounders, but literally no seconds until 2022, so that kind of sucks. I know 2 of those seconds were to get Kyrie Thomas in real life, so I'm not mad. But let's see. I'm going to be sending Zaire Smith and a 2023 first-round pick to the Pelicans for their first-rounder this year, and Omri Caspi. We have so many young rookies that we don't really need Zaire Smith, and the Pelicans don't have a great roster. They are pretty young. They have Donovan Mitchell and Brandon Ingram, which is a really good future. But for this year, they're not that good of a team. The Golden State Warriors are really bad now. Their only players above an 80 are Draymond Green and Jaylen Brown. So we're going to trade Hamidou Diallo and a lottery-protected first in 2021 for their first-rounder this year as well as next year, because I'm pretty confident that they are a bad team. I've been trying to get the Boston Celtics first-round pick, with Stanley Johnson being one of the key pieces of that trade. But I put Stanley Johnson on the trade finder on his own, and I can get 2 first-round picks from the Rockets. I know they have Kevin Durant, so they're not a bad team, but the more picks, the merrier. I end up getting the Celtics first-round pick. I traded that 2023 Rockets pick, as well as Omri Caspi and a 2nd-round pick. I'm kind of surprised they did that deal, but hey, I'm not complaining. Here's a look at the starting lineup. Stephen Curry, Chris Dunn, Kyle Korver, Jaren Jackson, and DeAndre Ayton. I just signed Kyle Korver out of free agency because I'm giving myself a rule for rebuilds, and that if the rookies aren't starting, I'm allowed to put them in the G League, but if they are starting, I cannot put them in the G League, like if they're a higher rating. Miles Bridges is 74, and Korver is a 76, so I am allowed to put Bridges in the G League. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is also in the G League too, so hopefully those 2 develop, and hopefully we kind of suck, but I don't think we're going to be that bad. Probably somewhere in the 30s when it comes to Is it just me, or does Steph Curry look really good in that Pistons jersey? Anyway, Curry wins MVP. I told you he's insane in the sim. Luka Doncic wins Rookie of the Year. The Bucks were still able to get Giannis, so they have Giannis and Luka. That's a really sick duo. Ricky Rubio, 6th Man of the Year on the Bulls. Draymond, Defensive Player of the Year, still on Golden State. Bobby Portis has a really good year for the Warriors, and then Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. The Raptors still do really good. Do we have any all-rookie teams? We do. There's DeAndre Ayton on the first team, and Jaren Jackson and Amari Spellman on the second team. So we went 53-29, which was good for the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. So Curry must have carried us. Once again, why I picked him. And it looks like we're doing pretty good against the Knicks, and we get out of the first round. Now the Hawks in the second round, I'm not sure who a lot of these teams have, so just bear with me. And we get eliminated. Great. As you probably all know, we traded for 3 first-round picks from the Warriors, Celtics, and Pelicans. None of those teams ended up making the playoffs. I know the Warriors had one of the worst records in the league, and I know it was really close between like a bunch of teams, including the Celtics and Pelicans. So hopefully the draft lottery doesn't screw us over too bad. We have projected picks 5, 8, and 9. So we could have done better, but oh well, it is what it is. And we end up with 6, 8, and 9. So obviously the draft lottery doesn't help us, because that's the draft lottery for you. We've agreed to a deal with the Trailblazers. We are moving up from 9 to 4. We also give up an extra, I believe, 2 first-round picks, as well as Amari Spellman. And we get the 4th pick and 2 second-rounders in return. I know that seems like a lot, but we have plenty of future first-round picks and plenty of assets, but I think that's a good deal. We ended up trading Isaac Bonga and 2 second-round picks to the Hornets for the 14th pick. I would say that's a robbery. I'm a little bit torn on 2 trades. The first one is this Bulls one, where we trade pick 14, 26, and Spellman to get their pick next year in TJ Warren. And then this one, where we get Keldon Johnson as well as DeAndre Hunter. But we have to give up our first rounder next year. And honestly, I think I'm going to go with this deal. I think we get better value. Even though we're giving up our pick next year, we should be really good. And there's no one who's super enticing available at 14. The best players like Naz Reid and players like that, so I think that's a good deal. Here's a look at our draft class. With the 4th pick, we ended up taking Nasir Little out of North Carolina. With the 6th pick, we got Sekou Ndomboya. With the 8th pick, we drafted Bol Bol. I know it said after we accepted those trades that it said Bol Bol and then the Trailblazers, but don't worry about that. We drafted Bol Bol, and then we ended up trading for Keldon Johnson and DeAndre Hunter, so that is 5 lottery pick rookies. That's pretty good. We are trying to clear up some salary cap, so we traded Keldon Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, and Tony Bradley to the Hawks for 3 first-round picks. I think those picks should get us some nice value, and they clear out about 8 mil. We've agreed to a deal with the Trailblazers. We're trading Bol Bol and Chris Dunn for 2 first-round picks. I know that doesn't look like a great deal, but as I said, we need to save as much money as possible. I believe we're about $6 million away from a max contract. We have traded Nasir Little to the Boston Celtics for 2 first-round picks. I would rather Nasir Little over Sekou Ndomboya, so I'm going to try to get Little back, but if I can't, then oh well. Trading away all of those players for draft picks ends up paying off, as the 3 players I offered, Jimmy Butler, Kristaps Porzingis, and DeMarcus Cousins, all accept. I can only bring one of them in. I assume Kristaps' contract is going to be matched, and I think we need Jimmy Butler more than DeMarcus Cousins, so I'm going to choose him. And Kristaps' contract isn't even matched. So we could have gotten Kristaps, but whatever, I didn't want to take the risk. It looks like the Timberwolves did offer Kristaps, or they did match the contract. It just decided not to tell me, so that's cool. We are going star hunting, and that's what we get from the Warriors. We're not trading for a superstar, but we are trading for a young, fun, popular player. 4 first-round picks and Swaggy Young, or Swaggy P, Nick Young, whatever you want to call him. And we will get Jaylen Brown. Now we just need a little bit of depth, so we are agreeing to a deal with the Trailblazers. We are sending 2 first-round picks as well as a couple other players for Chris Dunn. So Chris Dunn is back on the team after we traded him earlier. Here's a look at the rotation for the season. Steph Curry, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Jaren Jackson, and DeAndre Ayton. Off the bench, Chris Dunn, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Sekou Ndomboya, Miles Bridges, and Boban. Hopefully we can win the championship this year. I definitely think we should. And yeah, let's get to the I have noticed a lot of players like James Harden are either on their original teams or a team that they were once on. Like James Harden back on the Thunder. What's-his-face is back on the Pacers. Kawhi Leonard, who was, of course, drafted by the Pacers, but then traded to the Spurs on draft day, and obviously now he's in Toronto. LeBron is still on the Lakers. Giannis is still on the Bucks. As there's Giannis right there. Obviously, some teams did change, like Russell Westbrook is now on the Kings. Sorry, Russ. Steph Curry makes All-NBA second team. Good, good, good. Points obviously went down, but efficiency went up a little bit in field goal. So we end up going 53-29. Was that the same record as Season 1? I think Season 1 we won 52 games, so we barely improved, but we've added Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, and a much better bench, so 2K is a little bit delusional, yes. So I don't really care what you guys think is the best rotation. 2K, you can do 2K. So in the first round, we have the Washington Wizards. I'm pretty sure they have Ben Simmons and Clint Capella. So they're not a bad team by any means. And we win in... Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we win in 6. Now we have Giannis, Luka, and the Milwaukee Bucks. We should beat them. And it's not looking great so far. It's 2-1, 2-2. Come on, come on, come on. 3-2, 4-2. Alrighty, now we have the Raptors. The only decent player they have is Paul George, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully we can win it. And then we're going to play either Kevin Durant's Rockets or LeBron James' Lakers. So we sweep the Raptors, and it looks like we'll be playing the Houston Rockets as the Lakers blow a 3-0 lead. So hopefully we can end up beating the Rockets in the finals. Let's take a look at their roster real quick, see who else they have. Kevin Durant, Hassan Whiteside, Mike Conley, Will Barton, Robert Williams. Dang, this team is nice. They have a lot of depth. Their 5 best players are all 80s. I mean, we have that too. We have 8 players in the 80s, but that's because I'm like the best rebuilder ever. So hopefully we end up winning the series, and we do. Okay, cool. We do in 6. Steph Curry wins Finals MVP. So here's a final look at the roster: Mr. Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, DeAndre Ayton, Jaren Jackson, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Miles Bridges, Chris Dunn, Sekou Doumbouya, Luke Mbah a Moute, Boban, Anthony Tolliver, Jordan Crawford, Mac McClung. And yeah, so make sure to like button and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.